What's up YouTube, Jay Traveling here. Today I got a short video for you. I know I've been lacking a little bit of content lately. I think it's been almost 2 weeks since I've gotten a video up. I've been pretty busy with things around the house and some different projects I've been working on outside of crypto mining. But I've still been working on my crypto mining basement. Let's talk about the warmer weather coming in. My basement was already heating up. I walked down there and it was 91 degrees Fahrenheit inside my mining area. Now, a few things will play into effect in this is that, one, I've added more rigs since last summer, so that's going to hurt. I have gotten rid of some, and my grow tent, I had one rig pulled out. I've actually sold some cards out of it, and then, I'm waiting to put more on. I put together a temp rig that's sitting on the floor with a couple cards on it, and I've gotten some other big rigs running. One other thing that I noticed that's been putting out a lot of heat in my basement is my 2400 watt Delta server power supply. So I'm looking to unload that and swap that rig out to possibly two 1400 watt server power supplies, but we'll see later on. I do have that Delta on it and also have an 1100 watt server PSU, so I might just run two 1100s. My plan is to split that rig up anyway, so I won't be running 9 cards on it anymore. It's going to be 2 6-card rigs, and it's going to be a mix match. So I do plan on shuffling some of my rigs around and the cards to build out some other ones. But let's talk about what I did for the short term to help fix this heating issue, because like I said, it was up at 91 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, that wasn't the hottest I've seen. I saw it spike to 93 degrees Fahrenheit for a short period of time or in the midday. So what I did is I rearranged my box fans. Before, I had 6-inch inline fans. One was intaking to my grow tent, which didn't really work out too well. I just didn't have enough CFM to really pull enough cold air in to really cool down that tent. I really needed to match the exhaust, which was a 804 CFM, for that really to be more effective. But I'm working on a different plan of getting filters into it to filter intake air through negative pressure. So once I get that built, I'll make a video on that. But I pulled those out of the window and I installed a box fan that's actually has a 3D printed mount on it and filtered. So that's pulling in cool air from outside. And then I replaced my exhaust fan that broke over the winter with another one. So that's exhausting air out right with the exhaust for the grow tent. Now, in the short term, I let this run for a few days, and temperatures have been going up and down, but for the most part, I've been pretty consistent midday in the 70s, and my basement dropped significantly. Now, I dropped it down. When I checked, it was at 68 degrees Fahrenheit. It still gets up into the mid 70s during the day, but I'm pulling in that cool air and exhausting out some heat. I do want to get another intake fan and another window eventually to try and pull in some more cool air, because the other side where other rigs are is a little bit warmer. So try and just cool the whole basement down. But for now, this is how I'm managing some heat. I just wanted to make a short video. I'm like, who else is having some heat issues already? If you are, what you're doing to combat it. I plan on investing in some better ventilation. I want to get some better exhaust fans and possibly a good intake. I don't know if I'm going to go intake or not. I may just go with a pretty heavy duty exhaust fan and mount it where the intake is now. Now, I may do 2 exhaust fans and just have them at a lower setting just for noise. I know they get pretty pricey. They can range from $100 to $200 per fan, but in my opinion, it's probably well worth it, where I can mount them in those windows and exhaust, and then possibly get a piece of plywood, because I do also have plans of a second grow tent. I'm still working on getting some stuff before I purchase that grow tent. There's some other things I want to get, like Octominers and stuff first. And then do 2 exhausts to try and exhaust out as much heat out of the basement as I can. Now, I may hold off on exhaust 2 and do the grow tent first, because once I have the grow tent in and I have 2 8-inch inline fans and those exhausting, and have probably over 80% of my rigs inside the tents, that should help with heat and managing it. And then if I have a filter system on it, should help with dust and getting some cool air into the tent. Now, the second tent, I want to do Octominers in the first tent. If you guys remember, I created those 3D brackets to stack the Sluice V2 style frames. So I want to stack 4 frames in there. Well, 2 stacks of 2, one like right next to each other. So a stack here and a stack here. and have that inside one tent exhausted, and in the other tent I'm going to try and get like 3 or 4 Octominers into it and have that exhausted. I don't know how well that's going to work, and I don't know how I'm going to set it up just yet. I may have the tent unzipped with the front of the Octominers out, depending on how big they are, so that they pull air in from the basement, and then when the hot air is exhausted out the back of the Octominer, it's trapped inside the tent and exhausted out through an exhaust fan. That's one setup I'm thinking of, but I also want to try and eliminate dust, so we'll see. I'm all about trying to use filters to eliminate dust and keep some heat down, but I know it also restricts airflow, so that's always the downside to using those filters. But, you know, let me know how you guys are trying to combat your heat, what temperatures you guys are running, and, you know, what you guys found is a great solution. I know passive cooling is what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to install an AC unit. It'll probably just break it anyway. But, you know, I'd like to hear from the comments below what you guys are doing. But thanks for checking this video out. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more.